Tonight on The Five Show, a first-hand encounter with Secondhand Serenade.
The 5 Search winner, Kaylee Lowe, drops in to talk about her triumph last night.
And who would live in conditions like these? We dig through the layers to get to the bottom of hoarding disorder.
Here.
And Lion, welcome to another Manic Monday on The 5 Show.
Now, we'll be talking to 5 Search winner Kaylee Lowe in a moment, but first we want to say congratulations to you if you got your A-level results today.
Big decisions as to what to do next, as we wish you all the best.
Good luck, and now let's meet someone who did a great job yesterday on The 5 Search.
Here to tell us more about her big win last night, please welcome Kaylee Lowe. Congratulations! Please take a seat.
So how do you feel the day after your big win?
Wow, today has been like a really overwhelming day. I've been getting a lot of messages from friends and my family and even strangers. So it's really heartwarming to get all this encouraging message and say, you did it, yay!
Yay! I know you've got some very supportive fans, right?
Yeah, I do. I'm so thankful for them, actually.
And they were holding up these crazy banners?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, tell us about that. Tell us about that.
Well, the banners and the light boxes were done by my dad. It's really sweet. Yeah, he actually made them. And then my friends were the one holding them up and they were like cheering with whistles and all. But they were complaining to me today that their arms are really growing some muscles.
It's good exercise.
Because it was quite heavy, right?
Yeah, it was heavy and they had to like block their view from catching the show.
Right, there's a technique to it, no? You must put it up, then like just above your eyes.
Just above on the forehead.
Yeah.
You just cover the
and they
forehead,
had like
is it?
switches to make it blink and all. So it's so fancy.
Well, it was certainly very eye-catching, and I saw it last night. I had a great time at the 5 Search last night.
Yeah, it was really a really good show.
Okay, so Kaylee, you do have a job. So what's next for you? What's going to happen? Tell us.
Honestly, life after today is actually pretty much of a blur to me right now. I haven't really gave much thought what happens after today, and I was really just focusing on the competition and doing my best. So I haven't really gave much thought, but all I know is I need a break.
Right.
I'm going on a holiday, totally.
Hang on. You're not going to get a break tonight.
No, not
because
tonight.
We're going to invite you to co-host with us.
Yeah, consider this your first official hosting gig.
Yes! First time. I feel like all the challenges that we've put through is like, this is the real thing now.
It is the real thing.
Yes, you're now a working actor. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's say you want to buy a new washing machine, but your old one is still in a good working condition. What would you normally do with the old one?
I think I would just, I don't know, throw it away. It seems a bit of a waste considering that it's still working, but you've got a new one, the old one's got to go. I guess throw it away.
Right.
Well, Sandra, our 5 Show reporter, managed to find a better solution for that.
Hi, my name is Sandra, and most people know me as a musician from the Sam Willows. But few know me as a hoarder. Yes, I collect all sorts of things like boxes, books, jewelry, and finally today I've decided to take action and do something about my unused things. Oh, this is nice. Starting with the largest item here, this washing machine, and I think I know the perfect solution. So instead of throwing my washing machine away, I will be finding it a new home. Started by the Central Singapore Community Centre and managed by The Helping Hand, Pass It On distributes second-hand items that are still in usable conditions to people who need them. This is how it works. I snapped a picture of my washing machine earlier. Now I will upload it, together with my particulars on this online form. It's quite simple, but there is one golden rule. My washing machine has to be in good working condition. With my washing machine now up for grabs on the Pass It On system, a social worker will soon get in touch with me to arrange for collection.
Hi!
Of course, you can either deliver the item yourself to the family or do it like me. Get these guys to lend a hand. To date, more than 5,000 families have received useful items from the Pass It On scheme. Like Padma. For the past 6 months, she's had to cope with the family's laundry without a washing machine. But ever since Padma's husband was hospitalized with a heart condition, chores that used to be manageable are now a challenge for Padma and her daughter to keep up with. So my washing machine couldn't have come at a better time. There are many needy families like Padma's all around us that can benefit from our used items. And it's really a win-win situation. So the next time you find something of no use, make sure you check out the Pass It On website, because what you thought was trash might be someone else's treasure.
Wow. You know, Pass It On isn't the only organization that can help turn your unwanted stuff into treasure.
There's also the New to You thrift shop, which is run by the SCWO, Singapore Council of Women's Organizations.
And with us to tell us more about New to You is the MD of Athena Network Singapore and a board member of SCWO. Please welcome Miss Georgina Romero. Hello, Georgina.
Hello.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Well, Georgina, tell me a little bit more about the New to You thrift shop. What kind of things do you sell?
Oh, well, we have all sorts of goods that have been donated by members of the public. I mean, we have fashion items, clothes, vintage wear. We have books, CDs, just anything really. We take
All
pretty
sort
much
of mix.
anything, and nothing ever goes to waste.
So are these second-hand things or first-hand?
It depends. I mean, a lot of them are second-hand, but we also have brand new items, and they're about 10% of the costs that you would buy them for in a normal shop. Sometimes they're only like $1.
Oh, really?
So we have $190 dresses that sell for as little as $10.
Sorry.
Wow.
$190 dress.
Sometimes they have tags and,
and
prices
$10.
on.
You're selling them for $10.
Tags and prices. I think we've got a picture of one of them. There we go.
There you go. 100. There you go. 190, 129 about there for $10.
And also we had a Vera Wang wedding dress that sold for $300.
No, 300. That
Wow.
is
Yeah.
okay. Just to give people an idea, a Vera Wang wedding dress, when you buy it from the shop in Singapore, it is at least about $8,000 to like $20,000.
350, get it now. 10 of them, please. Well, what
Exactly.
about the dress that you're wearing?
This dress is kind of an expensive item actually for the thrift shop. Do you want to take a guess of how much it costs?
Okay, Katie, you make a guess first.
40, thereabout?
A little bit less.
I would guess 25.
A little bit less.
Oh, well, I don't know. 50.
$4.
So what?
Sorry, 54.
$4.
$4. Get 20 of them.
Wow, that is amazing. Now we know.
Is it white and gold or black?
Now you know.
I'm just wondering.
Obviously, white
It is
and
black
gold.
and blue, right? Right?
I'm seeing black and blue.
Okay, I'm seeing black and blue.
Okay.
We're all on the same page.
Well, right into our Facebook page if you want to.
Now, Gina, we know that the store is run by volunteers, but where does the money go to?
Well, the money goes to SCWO, which has a number of different initiatives, including the Star Shelter. And the Star Shelter is a shelter where women who have suffered from domestic abuse can actually come and get rehabilitated. Wow. And there's a lot of different programs that we have at SCWO.
Is there a particular story that has touched you?
There are just so many. I mean, the Star Shelter does such amazing work. We have a lot of different volunteers that do everything from art therapy to counselling. I mean, one of our residents came in after 17 years of having being abused in her own home.
17 years.
So it was a pretty traumatic. I mean, obviously she was very depressed, very had low self-esteem, and she'd really suffered. You know, she was given no access to her 4 children, and
That's brutal.
yeah. So after being at the centre, she actually had counselling, she had therapy, and then she went on to take on a job. She was a cashier. I think she's still a cashier right now, and she's doing really well. She's now on the mend, and she's rebuilding her life.
Right, so it's like a whole new life.
Absolutely.
Starting brand new.
And
A good
violence-free.
story to hear. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, I can just imagine, you know, domestic abuse it can be quite a silent thing, and you don't share with people, and you just bear it silently. But I'm so happy for her. After 17 years, she's got a new life. All
And with the
thanks to
support
you.
network that you guys provide, I mean, it's essential, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many fantastic volunteers at SCWO. I mean, even from the shop, you know, it's completely run by volunteers. And there's multiple different initiatives that are supported day in, day out by the shop. So this is a really great reason why you should come along and shop and buy some clothes.
Thank you so much, Gina, for joining us here today. And I just love the idea that you can indulge in retail therapy for a good cause and just and let go of what you don't need to help provide for the less fortunate.
Well, after the break, we'll be looking at the other side of things, those who can't let go of stuff, no matter how useless the items are.
And we also have Secondhand Serenade to perform in a while.
In the meantime, here's Jill Nobrana to tell us about some of the stories making tonight's news. Hey, Jill.
Indeed. Now, tonight on News 5, you've already heard A-level results are out, the best scores yet since the curriculum was overhauled in 2006. But why are some students avoiding the uni route? And more dead fish are washing up at Pasir Ris Beach. The situation is much worse than last year, raising concerns about whether local fish is safe to eat. Join us for the latest at 9.
Hi, and welcome back to The 5 Show.
And with us is the 5 Search winner, Kaylee Lowe, who's helping us co-host the show.
Welcome, Kaylee. Before the break, we brought up a condition known as hoarding disorder. People who suffer from it just cannot bear to throw anything away.
Even if the items end up taking over their lives and their living space.
The average person cannot imagine living in conditions like this. But this is the reality of someone who suffers from a hoarding disorder. And according to a recent study done by the Institute of Mental Health, 1 in 50 Singaporeans will show some form of hoarding tendency in his or her lifetime. Hoarders have great difficulty in parting with their possessions. They feel items cannot be thrown away because they may be needed for a rainy day, regardless of how useless the items may seem. Any attempt to get rid of their things will be met with extreme distress, panic attacks, or even great hostility. Because people who hoard often don't see it as a problem. They hate it when people criticize them for being unhygienic and tell them to get rid of their useless items. And of course, not all hoarders are the same. Take Mrs. Chin, for example. She keeps boxes and boxes of old photos, keepsakes, and souvenirs. They are the only things she has left of her family. How can you expect her to throw them away, she asks.
你们人为什么这样没有良心?
And then there's Mr. Lee. He hoards things as a means to eke out a living. He sells some of his collection to pay for his medical bills. He doesn't see why he should be criticized for having plastic bags in front of his doorstep when his neighbors are allowed to park their bicycles in front of theirs.
是我的家嘛，我有味道也是我自己嘛。
So, what can be done about people like Mr. Lee and Mrs. Chin? Don't they have a right to live their lives the way they choose to, no matter how messy or how poor the living conditions? What would you do if you had to walk a mile in their shoes?
Wow, it looks pretty serious.
Yeah.
I'm not as bad as them, but I'm a cyber hoarder.
You are. Unlai loves to.
I just take lots of photos, put them in my MacBook until it wants to explode. I mean, it basically has, I think.
But the question is Unlai a hoarder or a collector? Well, we need an expert to sort of sort through all this, and we want to get to the heart of the matter. So we're going to welcome psychiatrist and counselor Dr. Adrian Wang. Hello, Dr. Wang.
Hi there. Hello, doctor. Welcome.
So, what is the difference between collector and hoarder? So we can find out if my friend here is a collector or hoarder.
Well, if you have a system to it, and there's a structure to it, you're not disorganized, you're not causing problem in your own personal life or other people's life, then you're a collector. But a hoarder is somebody who does it in excess. And hoarding by itself isn't a disorder, actually. It's more a symptom of a variety of different conditions.
Okay, so that means you're a collector.
I am a collector?
Yes, you're a collector.
Well, I'm in the hot seat, so I'm going to have to call you a collector.
Because you're very organized.
Yeah,
yes.
but what sort of conditions are you talking about?
Well, it's a spectrum. And in the mildest sense, it's not really a condition, it's just a personality trait. People who just like to keep things, they want to have one color of every bag or Hello Kitty doll, so that's just your personality. But people who hoard things tend to be anxious, obsessive, perfectionistic, so they need it to be in a certain way, and they'll collect things just in case they never know when they'll need them.
Right, so are they just saving up for a rainy day, or
Exactly, saving for a rainy day or when an emergency that never comes.
are they being delusional when they're thinking of this rainy day?
It's not a delusion.
I mean,
it's not a delusion because you never know when that rainy day might actually come.
True. So, is there a difference? What is the difference between clutter versus hoarding?
Well, it's a spectrum. So you've got people who are obsessive and overly organized, but on the other end of the spectrum are people who are completely clueless and scatterbrained.
Okay.
So they're forgetful, they buy things they forget they've already had, they stash things in a corner, they've got trash, old newspapers and magazines.
Okay.
So it builds up into a huge pile.
So how do you tell between the different stages of hoarding, whether mild, severe, or moderate?
Well, I suppose it's mild if you're not causing problems to anyone.
Okay.
But it's moderate if you're stressing yourself out or your family, it's getting on your family's nerves, people are fighting, then it becomes mild. And I'll say it's severe when it becomes a fire hazard, when it takes over your apartment.
Yes, that's
Right, okay. Because I mean, sometimes people have messy bedrooms or messy houses, but they think they have a system. But then others do not, is it?
Right,
That's right,
because
yeah.
there's madness in the mess. I mean,
Well, there's
that
a
would be
method to the madness, yeah. For
Method
some
to the
people, yeah,
madness, yes.
yeah.
Okay, so when do you know you have to reach out to a professional?
Well, when the person himself is stressed about it, or if he's not stressed and he's stressing everybody in his family, if it's when it becomes a health hazard, a safety hazard, then you've got to talk to somebody about it.
Here's the thing, I think people who are hoarders generally are quite defensive about it. How can you approach this with delicacy to try to get them to see and to seek help? Because they're like, no, that's fine, I'm fine, there's nothing wrong with me,
Well, that's a tough one, but I'd say being too confrontational doesn't help. You've got to really spend time talking to the person, and like I was saying, sometimes it's a symptom of a more severe underlying condition. The person could be having OCD, it could be part of depression. In patients with severe mental illnesses like schizophrenia or with dementia, they start to hoard things. So if you are too confrontational, it's not going to work.
Are there any other tips that you could share for people who are suffering or know of people who are going through? What's the first step to take?
Well, I think being too confrontational is not a good idea. I think the first step is to try and get an understanding. Why is this person collecting so many photos in their computer and so on?
Okay, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And of course, see Dr. Wang.
Exactly. I'm going to do some cleansing myself, I think. I mean, as in not cleaning myself, but as in, going to cleanse my Mac.
Are you sure you're going to let go all your photos, a lot of your 10 million photos?
No, I'll get rid of maybe 5 million.
Anyway,
I've got a quick tip.
Yes.
Yeah. If you've got something that you've not used for more than 6 months, whether it's a household item or an article of clothing, it's gone.
All right.
Throw it out. Let it go. Let it go.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank
Wang,
you.
for shedding light on this whole situation.
So don't go away. When we come back, a performance not to be missed by Secondhand Serenade.
Welcome back! Here to perform the hit single Fall For You, Secondhand Serenade.
Tonight's that we're not fighting. Could it be that we have been this way before? I know you don't think that I am trying. I know you're wearing thin down to the core. But hold your breath, because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. Don't make me change my mind, or I won't live to see another day. I swear it's true, 'cause a girl like you is impossible to find. You're impossible to find. This is not what I intended. I always swore to you I'd never fall apart. You always thought that I was stronger, and I may have failed, but I hold your breath, because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. And don't make me change my mind, or I won't live to see another day. I swear it's true. 'Cause a girl like you is impossible to find. It's impossible, so breathe in so deep. Breathe me in, I'm yours to keep. And hold on to your words, 'cause talk is cheap. And remember me tonight when you're asleep. Because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. And don't make me change my mind, or I won't live to see another day. I swear it's true. 'Cause a girl like you is impossible to find. Tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. And don't make me change my mind, or I won't live to see another day. I swear it's true. 'Cause a girl like you is impossible to find. You're impossible to find.
Amazing. And of course, this is John, vastly better known as Secondhand Serenade.
So, John, I need to ask you this. Why the name Secondhand Serenade?
Okay, well, I write my songs usually about a girl. And when I write the song about the girl, she usually gets the first-hand serenade, and then I go out and play for all my fans around the world, and in Asia and in Singapore, and the fans kind of get the second-hand serenade. So.
Okay, so the question is, did you get the girl?
I fortunately did get the girl. She's backstage right now.
Cool.
Okay, so what's next for you?
Well, I have a new record out called Undefeated, and I'm going back to the U.S. to do a U.S. tour, and hopefully back to Asia this summer to see you guys again.
We can't wait to see you back in Singapore.
Congratulations. Thank you so much for being here. Tomorrow we have Star Awards Best Actress nominee Felicia Chin in the house.
Big thank you once again to our guests, Secondhand Serenade, Dr. Adrian Wang and Gina Romero. And of course, Kaylee, hello.
Hello, thank you so much. Good night. See you tomorrow.
Tell a story, come on down to the Fire Show. Come on and join us on this brand new show on Fire.